Vortex. I just get scowled at. Have you ever gotten scowled at? It happens to me all the time. Mainly by women. And men that act like women. I think they're like possessed by some kind of spirit. A lot of people think that's crazy talk. Well, that's what this channel is, don't you know? Maybe I should rename the channel Crazy Talk. Yeah, I pulled in here because I'm waiting on a phone call from my friend Judson. And this is the only place that I thought of to pull into where they wouldn't charge me for parking. And I think I just might go in there so I can get some avocado salsa or some shit. Yeah. I think this girl saw my crucifix and that's why she scowled at me. I mean, people have always given me dirty looks because I'm a really friendly person. Like, in spite of my RBF, that's resting bitch face, in spite of the fact that I hate people and society, and I have such little respect for society, especially now, it's not even funny, but I pity them, and I still smile at people. But yeah, there's always this competition with women. And I think that's everybody's nature. Because they just don't know how to get along with people. Because it's the right thing to do. You know? Like, it makes more sense to me to smile at people. Even if they don't return the smile. Even if they don't want shit to do with me. I'm not trying to start a conversation or nothing. But I think it's a nice gesture. It's not fake either. I can't fake a smile. But I genuinely wish to put out positive energy, especially considering the fact that this is what you get on this channel, you know? Kind of sort of hate everything. But you know, somebody had mentioned in one of my other videos that they couldn't listen to women complain, which I thought was funny because they obviously weren't familiar with my content because, like, I bitch about women all the time. I mean, I think that I complain about stuff that is worthy of complaints. But, I mean, I agree with this person, and I told them that women do bitch about anything. They whine. Really, that's a better word for it. They whine about stuff. I try not to be that way when I'm out in public. That's why I'm just quiet. Because I have a tendency to shit on everything. So I just don't say nothing. Because I don't want to be that person that brings the energy down. You know? But it's like there's no way to win in our society. You can't ever complain about things without getting accused of something. You can't be confident in who you are without people thinking that you're a narcissist or that you're just so arrogant about the things that you believe in, you know? I really can't stand arrogant people, so like I'm constantly watching that in myself and I don't like it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not right about things, you know? And I think that one of the main reasons why people they got such a problem with everything, it's because they don't understand that like multiple things can be true at the same time. You know, it's like I can appreciate what I have and still bitch about the things that are wrong with the world. You know, I can feel God's presence and I can feel God's love and still feel the energy of all these demons that are constantly surrounding me. And that's something that I wrestle with a lot. I'd say that it continues to torment me because of the fact that like I notice it so much. And that's why I'm against the stuff that I'm against, because I knew that our society wasn't ready to have the internet in their pocket all the time. Our society is just way too fucking stupid, and they're already self-absorbed. So, you know, I've been to a lot of therapy, believe it or not. I've been to a lot of therapy. I've worked the 12 steps. I've had multiple sponsors. I've sponsored people. There's a lot of work that I've done on myself. So if I'm arrogant, it's because there's just shit that I notice that I think that people they either don't want to notice it because it's too painful. They just want to stay distracted. But that can only work for so long, you know? That's why people seek the help of psychiatrists, because this whole culture is designed to make people depressed and anxious and paranoid and miserable. So, of course, all of the fake solutions are going to appeal to fake people. And if that sounds insensitive, it's because I don't have anywhere near as much compassion for people that don't try as people that try. So if you're just doing what everybody else is doing, like, people are so afraid that they're not going to be important or some shit. Honey, if you ain't important to yourself, you ain't important. It doesn't matter how many people pay attention to you. If you're not your number one fan, nothing's going to satisfy you. And that's why society is so bad. It's because narcissism has completely taken over everything and everyone. So it's made everybody even more competitive than they already were. It's made people more self-conscious than they already were. But not self-conscious in the sense that, oh, I'm going to work on myself. I want to better my outlook. So I'm going to go to therapy so that I can challenge myself. Now, people go to therapy so that they can be coddled and told that they're totally right in their delusional gender identity, okay? And I actually don't think it's just a leftist problem. I think that there's just as much narcissism on the right as you see on the left. It's just with the left, there's way more that they have to be insecure about, you know? So that's kind of the issue that I see. Oh, see, she smiled at me. I smiled at her, she smiled at me. Why can't everybody do that? I guess they just don't have it in them, you know? They really don't. I wish that people realize that they're only hurting themselves. I mean, anytime that you're ugly to somebody else, you're really just being ugly to yourself. But you can't see that because you don't have self-awareness. If you're kind to other people, it's because you see that those other people could be you. So you try to set the right example. You know, I don't want to get mistreated, so I'm not going to mistreat other people. Now, some days I'm more patient than others, but I'm a pretty patient person. Sometimes I really hate it. I wish I could just be a cunt to everybody. But I'd feel bad if I was, so there's really no point in me doing that. That damn conscience, you know? Yeah, I hate the fact that people insist on being so fucking lame, you know? I had a really bad dream last night where I lost my car. And I know this is actually a really common dream for many people, because my dad was talking about how he has a reoccurring dream where he loses his car. But I've definitely had that reoccurring dream. But I know that's got to mean that I'm concerned about losing my direction, losing my motivation, perhaps. Because the car would be a symbol for a driving force. And the fact that I keep having this dream, I think, indicates that, you know, I still do have self-doubt. I mean, living in this world, trying to navigate everything, considering my feelings on technology and all that shit, it's really difficult. It's getting harder. And I'm not trying to complain about it, but I don't think that caving in to the same thing that everybody else has caved into is the right line of action. Because it pisses me off that everybody caved into it. It pisses me off so much that motivates me to not even consider it. So when the phones came out, I knew that it was going to take over the world and it was going to be terrible. But there's a lot of other shit that has happened since then that has made that way worse, you know? And all these sheep will talk about all those things, but they won't talk about the phones, because I think they just accept the fact that our society is this way and it's not going to change, and it's not going to improve. You know, like today at work, I saw this autistic kid, this obviously autistic kid, who can't sit still, he can't shut up. He's like flapping his arms around and shit, and then his mom just puts a phone in his hand and he shuts up, you know? She's the reason why he's like that, okay? I don't care what anybody says. If you take shit advice, you get shit results. You do the stuff for your children that they tell you to do without doing any research on that stuff, then yeah, they're gonna develop all kinds of problems because of that shit. And I know that people are gonna clap back with like, well, you don't have kids, so what do you know? I would know to go to the Amish community. Because I hate this society anyway. There's no way I'd raise a kid here. But anyway. I think that the reason why people get so offended by that stuff is because of the fact that, like, they know that I'm right on some level. And so it's like, they'll use any ammo that they can use against me because they know that I have a fucking cannonball. You know? That's funny, though. That's a funny analogy there. You should use that on stage. They don't get it. They'll never get it. They really won't. I mean, that's why people tell me, well, yeah, your jokes are way too smart. You have any idea how much I have to, like, retard my jokes in order for these numbskulls to understand what I'm talking about? I have to compare everything to a sexual act. You know? They're such fucking degenerates. Everybody is so degenerate. But I'm telling you, the phones are the epitome of the degeneracy that people are complaining about. They want to keep saying it's because of the gay stuff. The gay stuff existed. It was already there. It's just out in the open now. So it seems like it's a lot worse, but it's really not. You're focusing on it, which makes it worse. If you're magnifying it, it's going to get fucking bigger. Okay? This is obvious. But all these people that want to whine and play the victim about it, playing the victim doesn't change anything. Okay? I think I'm gonna call Judson. He said he was gonna call me back. That son of a bitch. Look at my dinosaurs, you guys. Aren't they adorable? I have a whole park. Well, because people at work know that I love dinosaurs, and so they give me dinosaurs. And I know dinosaurs weren't real, but they're real up here, okay? Yeah, you think I don't know how crazy I sound? I don't give a fuck. Like, this world wants to inject mercury into their bloodstream, and then they look at me like I'm a fucking weirdo freak of nature. So, you know, I really don't hurt from these insults, you know? Because it's no skin off my nose that plebeian sheep think that I'm a freak, you know? And I'm giving people the option to be a freak without having to be a sexual degenerate. Okay? That's what this is all about. So people that have been part of the LGBT community, you know, they come to me with their grievances and I listen to them. Christians won't accept you. Maybe the Orthodox Church will accept you. But, well, actually, I take that back. If you not about the Orthodoxy, but about other churches. I mean, if you went to some Unitarian church, they would totally let you be gay and trans or whatever. They have transgender pastors, ministers, whatever. I mean, like I've said, it started with women, you know? Once they let women have authority in the church, everything else is going to fall by the wayside. Because women are not supposed to have authority in the church. Just because we can prophesy, that doesn't mean speak at the pulpit. That's not what that means. But you can't tell them shit, you know? Because I can cry. I can be in the presence of God and just cry, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody's worried about me or, you know, trying to escort me somewhere because I need help. You know, I don't understand, like, what's the big deal with just crying. I mean, I'm a fucking woman. Like, I know that I can, like, talk about things in a rational way sometimes. Hopefully. Some of the time I can do that. But that doesn't mean that I'm not still, like, super emotional. And I've just chased that. I chase that instead of running away from it. And I think most people run away from it because they think that there's something wrong with them. But look, if you're a woman or if you're a homosexual man, which means you're essentially a woman, or if you're just a man on the internet, which means you're essentially a woman, then yeah, you're probably going to be emotional. And that's okay. Just don't play the victim about it, and don't make it somebody else's problem. I mean, who says it has to be a problem?